Hello and welcome back. I have gotten my water, no longer dehydrated. Back here with Gordo as we're waiting on some proceedings between now and this next match between Orbits and Chatting. And actually, Chatting, kind of the topic of conversation here. Gordo, do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, I mean, well, definitely going to be a exciting one coming in between Orbs and Chatting, but maybe a little highlight here for Applebug on the side of Chatting. It is a certain individual's birthday today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and we do have a surprise prepared in just a moment, just waiting to assemble some things. But I think we have an interesting match lined up. I do not quite remember what the Orbits roster was, but I do, if I'm not mistaken, they are not playing their full main roster, right? The Barcode's being subbed out this week.
Correct.
For Spencer, who was actually I remember now. It was Spencer. I played with him at LAN. This dude is good at the game. We played together. We hit top 8 at the Philly LAN. Of course, he was playing midfield, so he's probably even better goalie, and I'm excited to see what this man can do. Now, he was a homie. I hit it off with him.
Excited. Yeah, no, it's going to be fun to see. And as we've just seen, right, we can't just discount these subs out of hand, right?
Absolutely.
That's what we've learned in the last 10 minutes. So we're going to definitely be looking at a real exciting series here, but it looks like our surprise may just be ready here, Fem Bison.
Absolutely. And I guess we're just waiting on the producer here. Hello. Hello.
All right. From NASL staff, Bug, we very much appreciate you having you in our games, helping out with casts and all of that stuff. So for your birthday, we know that your mom watches the stream. We would love to sing a happy birthday for you today. Okay, I'll count us off. On 1, we shall ride, and we will sing happy birthday.
Wait, do we want a note to start on so we're not all singing 8 different keys?
How is
fine.
Nobody else in hands, by the way? This is just Bison and I.
It's fine. I got it. It's all good. Okay. On the count of 1, we shall go. Okay.
Right.
3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Abba. Happy birthday to you.
All the way to We promise we're actually excited, despite how we sounded.
We were all so slow.
I was trying to accommodate for the Discord lag.
Yeah,
stay on the same thing.
If we all talk slowly enough, the Discord lag isn't there.
Yeah.
True.
Well, anyways, happy birthday, Bug. Good luck in your game out there versus Orbits, but I believe we will be bringing it back to our casters for this one. Excellent work, ladies and gentlemen. We've done it. We've sung happy birthday.
We did.
I immediately robbed from the final conversation.
We're in the separate Discord channel. It's just Fem Bison and I again. That was the most challenging thing we've had to do on stream.
I don't know. I had a good time. It was pretty.
Oh yeah, it was fun. I'm sure I gotta watch it back later. I'm sure we're all out of sync though because of the Discord lag. So,
Indeed.
But that's part of it. That's part of the business.
All right, though. Now getting into Bug's team and Orbits. Just waiting on this match a little bit longer. Of course, we're going to see if Chatting can continue to prove that they are the hottest up-and-comers on the block. I mean, this team might have the most potential in all of NASL. They formed, a week? Or not a week, a couple of days before Launchpad 2 and Liftoff, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Oh, yeah. I believe so, and yeah, I mean, starting 0-1, both of these teams currently 0-1, but up against the Sad Boys, right? Who are an absolute super team, right? Merged between the 2 Eastern finalists from season 1, and they played close, real close, 2-3 in both games, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
So Chatting still keeping up that hype. They didn't quite get the win in week number 1, but that's the toughest opponent that they're probably going to get on paper the whole dang league. So you got to be real hyped on them coming into this matchup up against Orbits.
And there's something to note here. Vaughn was absolutely praising their gameplay. He was saying that if it were anybody else slightly worse in the goal box, that he thinks Sad Boys would have lost that 2-0, which is very high praise coming from arguably currently the most successful player in the entire game. Right? He plays like 2 roles. He's one of the best players, the best player in one of them, and one of the best in the other one. There is very much something to be said about Chikara Chatting here.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to be said about this squad coming through here. I mean, it would just take a look at what they've been able to put together, right? Some substitutes coming in off of teams from last split. Evil Dude Danger with Core Overflow, Liari with Prodigies. And then Applebug, coming in as, I'm sure they may push back on it a little bit, but pretty much coming in as a pure rookie, right? I mean, hasn't played in a North American Strikers League match or as a substitute on North American Strikers League team until this split. So coming on up here and so far been showing real good stuff up against the Sad Boys.
I mean, his mechanics are definitely something to write home about. We see his play style just sit in front of the goalie and win the mechanics game right at the line. And I mean, he's definitely doing that. So we'll see if Spencer, also a new face, actually can hold it down. But this is definitely kind of a battle of the rookies almost for Chikara Chatting versus Orbits here. Of course, there's some veterans on both sides. Liari from NASL Season 1, and then Lumos and Hook Resets, 2 of the older competitive players in this game. Not, of course, Liari also a beta competitive player, but kind of a aunts and uncles with their nephews and nieces kind of situation here.
Yeah, and if we're just talking about NASL, right, treating that as kind of its own beast compared to the rest of competitive Omega Strikers. Lumos coming in off a team name for Saya, Barcode off of Finesse, but Hook Resets, again, going to be in that same category as Applebug, where has not played on the NASL stage before up until this last week. Barcode, of course, not even going to be starting today as far as we know, so Hook Resets might be getting joined by another individual who hasn't had too much experience at the NASL stage.
Yeah. Still waiting to load into this match. I'm curious about your thoughts for this match, right? What are your predictions? What are your...
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not buy into the Chikara Chatting hype, right?
It's very hard.
Competitive up against the Sad Boys. Been really impressed with what I've gotten to see out of them so far, and really looking forward to what else we're going to be able to see here coming in to our week number 2. There's going to be a lot of games to be played over the course of the whole NASL split, and a little stumble at the very start and a very competitive stumble at that is definitely not going to dissuade me from keeping this team hyped up.
And, something to be said, Alpha actually said this on a different cast, but if you're going to lose a game, it better be the one against one of the best teams in the league in the very first week, right? Like, that would be the game, that would be one of the games to lose. And for sure, I don't think Chikara Chatting is too mad about that one, especially with their performance in that match, actually outplaying for a time some of the best forwards in the game, Corey and Bells. But of course, Sad Boys is able to bring it back in the end there. And we're loading into the match. Inky's Splash Zone. The Atlas band immediately comes out. They do not want to see the Evil Drew Orber Atlas pick. Spencer with some interesting picks here, picking more offensive goalies with the Ymir Rune. I think he's trying to play for just sort of snowballing the barrier, right? We've seen what getting that juice early can do for a team, and having that extra offensive pressure could be a huge deal. Of course, Estelle and Imi incredibly good at taking the barrier on this map as well, and with the stuffing power from Lumos Juliet, one of the more consistent Juliets to ever play this game at the top level.
Definitely. So going to be looking at what Lumos and Hook Resets are going to be able to do up against this rookie superstar squad that is Chikara Chatting, coming in with their full intended roster. Spencer coming in as the substitute for the day. See if they're going to be able to live up to the hype that the subs showed us in our first match. So we are on to Inky's Splash Zone once again. Saw a lot of shenanigans on this game before, and we'll see if we find it again. Is Applebug going to immediately find the first KO?
Hey, happy birthday to him as guest. Gifted with something real early as Drew Danger hits the juice, finds the KO, and Applebug just going to score it right off the corner bounce there. I mean, when you get to the line against Juliet like that, not much she can do. Perhaps a more defensive goalie was the pick there, but we'll see if they're going to be able to snowball this offense now. They get a little more time to reset here. It's only the first point of the match.
Yeah, Spencer steps out here as a substitute and immediately finds himself with no teammates. Going to be real difficult there. You know, was expecting to maybe have a little bit more assistance. We'll see if they're going to be able to turn things around as this starts again. A real early shot there from Applebug trying to find themselves an early goal. And there's the double KO. There's the goal again. Chatting coming out swinging here in game number 2.
I mean, Drew Danger is getting the value off of these juices. This is 2 in a row now that they've gotten a KO, and actually a double this time, right? So 3 total in just this set alone from the juice. Liari now looking to put the pressure on Spencer. Appabug gets a dash punch through. The barrier's going to go down, and I mean, we've seen what Drew is doing with this juice. This is dangerous, and finally, hook resets manages to hit it out, but Appa manages to get the core and just strike where Spencer at the line. It's going to be a quick 3-0 for Chatting in game 1, in set 1.
An incredibly fast set. I mean, it's over. It's already done. It's you blink and you miss it. Appabug MVP. What's the draft going to look like here, as immediately some crazy adaptations going to be needed from Orbits if they want to fight back in this game number 1, because they are struggling here on Inky's Splash Zone. They are getting KO'd by the juice constantly.
Okay. This draft, I think, is looking rough for Orbits as well. Drew is, I mean, evil Drew Orber, right? He gets the dancer. He gets exactly what he wants. Lumos gets a heavy impact, which is going to be good. And of course, Spencer getting the happy star on Aimee, 2 of the best in slots for those characters. But Appa ignored his best in slot because it's 6 catalysts. He has fire up. There's going to be so many core flips out from the side of Chatting. It's going to be so much pressure to deal with. Doesn't matter if he has a best in slot or not when the core is constantly going red.
Definitely true here, as Appabug keeping up the pressure on the top side, going to be able to open on up, as now here comes the juice once again. Liari passes it down to Appa, cleared back out by Lumos. Evil True Danger now going to be the one on reception duty. Lumos on the bottom side, a nice knockback away with a nice glitch pop from Liari, going to keep things in play, but Appabug now staggered already, but that's not going to stop them from taking a little bit of an aggressive angle here on the top side. Knocked aside by another glitch pop, but feeling like the kill pressure isn't really there as long as Lumos is on the other side. Here comes the blast, not quite finding it with the core flip is Appabug, so going to need it to just keep on up the pressure. There's those beach balls coming through from Evil Drew Danger. The core flip is a little too late, and now there's juice available for both teams. Comes through early, finds its way out of the target, and Lumos knocks it in for a goal.
Good stuff there from Orbits, finally seeming to find their groove a little bit. Lumos and Hook resets playing very well. Their great glitch pop clear from Spencer there as well early in the point to make sure that Chatting could not snowball their advantage. And now the turret's going to go out. The pressure is on for Drew. Easily finds the clear though. Lumos forced to use the flip on offense. Can't quite get it as Appa threatens the kill. Hook resets, tries to go for something of his own, but Drew just holding it down very comfortably. This barrier is so hard to take from him. Dubu covers so much of that space, right? Just being a big hamster boy. Now Spencer with a great glitch pop save against Appa. I thought that was going to hit the barrier there, and putting some pressure on his own, gets the core flip. The turret's there, and finally the barrier's going to go down. That was right. The offensive play from Spencer there, making all the difference. Now the juice there. Appa gets the strike. Can't quite find the shot though, but great defense holding it away from the juice, even though he's on the other side of the map. And now Chatting just looking to stall out Liari's death timer.
Yeah, core flip through Evil Drew Danger, the one who wins out on that battle, and it's just sliding on through. Nobody can get to it in time, and that's going to be a goal picked up for Chikara Chatting.
That was a bit of a jump scare moment, actually. As I stopped talking, I watched Lumos and Drew walk up to the court and realize, oh, something is about to happen, but thank you for picking up the slack there. Now, Spencer looking to put this turret in, getting that corner pressure there, trying to, you know, just the general approach we've seen from a lot of teams there, I guess only 2, really, right? But putting it in that top corner and then trying to force it through that wide side of the barrier. Now the juice almost catches Lumos again, but luckily he manages to survive as it cuts off right before he dies. Lumos still with the flip. Spencer just trying to hold it down against Appabug. And just some midfield jousting as both teams look to get whatever advantage they can. But as I say it, the Crystal turns with hook resets, almost dangerous, but great defense from Spencer there, managed to save it from Appabug. And now great offense as well. Eject buttons away to finish off the play. Gets the kill on Drew Danger with the juice, and Lumos has a scoring opportunity of his own. Can't quite seem to find it. But and finally, Orbits gets that goal. But Spencer there, what a play from him.
Yeah, wow, really good stuff there being shown by Spencer to be able to keep things up and alive. Now taking a 2-1 lead in set number 2. Clearing it back on over towards Evil Drew Danger. Now, Hook resets. Going to be the one playing aggressive now up against these beach balls. Goes in for the core flip, gets knocked back away by Drew Danger as Liari takes so much damage, has to blow the core flip just to try to keep themselves safe and get that dodge angle. But there's going to be a big KO found for Appabug. 4 KO streak for them on their birthday. Now going to be Liari knocked back on over. Appabug looking for it, but a core flip comes on through. Another KO is found for Appabug though, and Liari just needs to get the core over in front of the goal for them to be able to slam it through, but the respawns are coming on through and the opportunities are not presenting themselves. One more glitch pop. Appabug on the top finds the goal.
And just great offensive coordination there. Liari making sure to keep the core up for Appa in the corner, giving as many opportunities as he needs, and Appa eventually is going to find that goal, of course. Didn't take too long, though, for chatting, and now they're looking to close out set 2 as well, though definitely not nearly as fast as set 1 when Orbit's definitely finding their groove in this one. Appabug now looking to put the damage on Spencer, finally manages to force the flip. Smart play there, making sure he has no defensive resources, no evades. If Appa can get an opportunity to kill him or, you know, just force some pressure, that lack of meter might cost him in the long run. Now Appa looks for the flip, can't find it. Spencer and Hook resets trying to clear this away from Liari. Lumos can't find it, but the great dash one snipes it through despite being staggered. Now Drew looking to juice as Lumos finally finds the kill on the staggered Appabug. It was going to happen eventually. Liari now looking to make a play of her own off of the juice stream. Can't find the goal, and it looks like they're going to be able to stall out Appa's death timer at the very least.
Yeah, that is what they are looking to do. There's going to be the counter core flip from Lumos to be able to clear things out, but Liari knocks it up to Appabug, and another goal is found for Chikara chatting. That is going to be a 2-0 set lead in game number 1. We'll call that game point.
That pass was absolutely golden, by the way. Threw like 2 people right to the respawning Appabug. I mean, what kind of birthday gift could you ask for your teammate that's better than that in this match? And now Drew Danger with this first draft gonna get the replicator. I mean, he has Dancer, he has replicator. Oof. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for Orbits. I have to say it. Evil Drew Danger with these orbs. We know what he does. We know it's his nickname at this point, right? And not to mention both Juliet's getting size. I mean, even though built different. For Lumos, when you have a 40% speed buffed Juliet with Big Fish as soon as Drew Danger gets those 10 stacks, right? It's going to be very, very hard to stop Appa.
Yep. Both of these Julies now going to be a little bit more dangerous with that little bit of extra size. And the extra stagger going to be helpful for Appabug as well, who has been getting staggered quite a bit in that first couple of sets. Now Liari knocking it on down, another follow-up with the glitch pop. Great pass up to Appabug, who isn't quite able to find it through. Good defense getting shown here by Orbits to keep themselves up, but Appabug finds the KO. Liari knocks it to themselves and finds themselves a goal. There's a 1-0 lead for Chikara chatting.
Yeah, I mean, they're just rolling through this match. There was a bit of danger there in that second set, but once again, it just looks like they are so dominant. And Orbits is not doing bad, but there's just so much pressure from the side of Liari and Appabug, and now not to mention Drew Danger with the orbs. I mean, he picks one up and his whole team is going faster. Still, though, incredible play from Lumos there, gets the punch through it, forced to use the flip, but still gets the barrier. The juice stream almost gets something going. Spencer tries to make some offensive play of his own with that eject button, but now it's just gonna be Appa punching it through. Liari tries to get the glitch hop pass. The juice stream's still there to pick the shot up again, but great clear from Spencer with the turret to make sure that Appa does not get the opportunity that he wants.
Definitely is. Liari knocked up towards the top side, takes him out. Appabug now going to be the one in control, but wow, a great KO there found for the side of Orbits, and they're going to turn it into a goal. Good follow-up from Spencer as well to close that one out.
Spencer looking a little binary on this map, right? It's hard for him to hold, and it makes sense. He's against such strong pressure, and he's on Ivy, not exactly the strongest defensive character. But when Spencer's allowed to cook on the offense, I mean, we've seen what he can do. He had that eject button play with the juice earlier, and now he gets a goal. But unfortunately, that defense is going to cost, that lack of defense is going to cost him again as Appabug finds that early barrier and the juice. But once again, the offense as well. And as I describe the binary nature of his play, it happens right in front of us. And once again, not much Jaime can do against Julie at the line like that when Julie's just throwing a punch in your face. But, I mean, Spencer kind of showing up, actually, despite everything.
Definitely want to highlight that core flip coming on through there from hook resets as well was really able to clear things out and was able to prevent that combo from coming through from Apabug. But they find it one way or the other. They are inevitable, and they do manage to get themselves that goal. As now here's going to be the securing of that juice. Not quite enough, but does manage to open things on up. There's going to be the core flip from Apabug, keeping up the pressure, looking for the closeout with the flurry. There's going to core flip from Lumos, doesn't connect, doesn't find the core, and now Apabug with control going to punch it on in to close out the first game win for Chatting here in the NASL.
That was, I'm not gonna lie, there's something special there. That was disgusting by Liari. Okay, she hits Lumos with the glitch pop right before Lumos is about to flip, because she knows Lumos is going to flip, and then it forces Lumos to whiff the flip because it's buffered and wastes the resources, and immediately to capitalize off that play. Just something to be said about that kind of nasty awareness from Liari. Appa, though, 6 goals with only 52 redirects and 7 shots. What kind of scoring efficiency is that?
Yeah, that's a lot. It's quite efficient, I have to say. It's or what we define as a shot needs to change a little bit, because that's absolutely ridiculous. And I mean, there's some stuff that, you know, like when there's a play in that last set there where like Apabug is launching out the Flying Phoenix, anticipating that the core is going to be delivered to them by the water stream, and it gets blocked away by hook resets. That counts as a shot to me, you know. Right. Like there's stuff they went for where they were looking to take shots that maybe didn't quite work out, but yeah, I mean, what crazy stats there for Apabug.
Even then, essentially, it's still like 1 in 9-ish redirects, not even shots, resulted in a goal, right? The scoring efficiency, even if you count all of the whiff shots from like the stream and like people, you know, stopping that stuff, it's like at least 50%. That was
it's insane.
Not seeing anything like that since Aromatic Mint Tea and OSAS, where I believe they had 1 in 3 with it was something like 90, not 90, I don't remember, like 27 shots and 9 goals across the board or something like that. I don't know. I think Brickbat remembers the number, but he is not here with us right now. But still, while that was a bit of a wash in that first game, it's not complete total destruction, right? Spencer had his moments, definitely not like he's performing, and I think if they can just get some, you know, if they can hold on to the possession long enough to let Spencer play that offensive goalie style, which he's been showing up with, right? Not to say that Lumos and hook resets are playing bad or anything, just that, you know, it's very hard to contend with Chatting right now. But if they can do that, then I think Orbits, if they can make that adjustment, will have a better chance in game 2, and might even take the series if they can keep it up.
Definitely, yeah. And you know, looking to fight back here, we get talking about the new maps. I think it looked real clear to me like there was some experience on this map from Shakara Chatting. They had some real good tech set up together. There's a lot of great combos being set up by Apabug coming off of that water cannon. Maybe a different map, maybe a change of scenery will help things out here for the side of Orbits, who, you know, we don't know what they've been rolling in their own games in the meantime, but maybe haven't quite gotten too much run on that map. But as I say that, we're on Inky's Splash Zone again, so never
carousel. Mind. Yeah. I will say, definitely, if not with Chatting, me and Appa, because we were queuing for the new season reset, right? Got a lot of experience on this map, so Appa at the very least knows what's up, but clearly so does the rest of Chatting. I mean, we've all been playing ranked, and it's been showing up for us a lot. Even if you're not finding it in scrims, if you've been playing that ranked trio queue with your friends, you've been getting that map. And now, the IME ban actually coming out from the side of Orbits, interestingly enough, banning out Spencer's pick, but maybe the rune will be stronger. Those banishes can be so powerful against a Juliet in your face like that, especially with what Appa's been doing, right?
Yeah, definitely here. So makes sense to see those bans. Spencer going to be on the rune this time around. Lumos running back on the Julie. And at that Estelle, Julie, Atlas trio going to come through once again here for Shakara Chatting.
Yeah. Surprised Drew didn't just pick the Dubu for the lore team. I would have done it, honestly. But then again, this is a very serious match, so not too surprised. And it is his preferred pick. I think the Estelle Juliet will be incredibly strong on this map, right? So much stuffing power from Juliet, plus Estelle being able to just back that up with that massive midfield strength there. I'm having a bit of an audio issue. Sorry about that. I just realized. But
all right. Well, Well, you can try to get that figured out. If I'm Bison, I can take on over, as it's going to be a lot of aggression coming out here to start things off from the side of Orbits. Spencer playing up at midfield once again as Lumos goes in to get a little bit of healing done. It's Applebug going to be here ready to receive off the back of that water cannon again, back and forth. Liari knocks it on up, but nobody manages to find it through. They do get a KO for it, but they do not end up with the actual score. Applebug, though, back in control, knocking it forward. A nice knock away from Spencer, but it doesn't stop the follow-up from the Flying Phoenix, and Applebug gets the first goal of the match.
Yeah, that was great play there from Appa, making sure to stop that pillar from forming fully so that the core will guaranteed go through, and it does. Evil Drew Danger actually just walks up and immediately core flips it, finds the barrier with his team, and now Appa looking for a chance of his own. The Lumos doing a great job of keeping that core away from the jet stream, making sure that nothing comes of it, and gets a flip of his own as well. Now it's up to Hook Resets and Lumos, as Spencer surprisingly doesn't opt to go for the juice, instead places a pillar down to cover, but it's not going to matter as Lumos basically 1v1s Drew for this goal.
Good stuff there from both sides. Now going to be tied up at 1-1. Liari and Applebug not able to keep the control that time, and it sneaks past Evil Drew Danger. Great setup there from Lumos, and Hook's Resets is a ton of damage coming on across there onto Applebug. Lumos now taking control on the bottom side. Evil Drew Danger going to use the Cosmic Expanse to clear it on out, but there is that water cannon once again, and Applebug ready to receive. Slams it in up against Spencer.
That was incredibly, I mean, as you said, they've got the tech locked down. That was seamless. That was textbook. Everybody watching, you know, pay attention, take some notes. Applebug and Liari absolutely cooking with these jet streams. Of course, Drew Danger also firing it off at the right time. Now Spencer, though, playing some more of his offensive goalie style that we've seen, gets the early barrier. However, loses one of his own, gets the jet stream going, though. Lumos and Hook Resets, unfortunately too far to capitalize off the play, but the clear is found. Forced to use the core flip again, though, and the banish unfortunately stuns the core right in front of his goal box, and it's just gonna go right through, unfortunately.
Liari sneaking it in there. One more piercing shot. Everybody was ready for the core to head in the opposite direction. Nobody's ready to defend, and that is going to be the dub picked on up in this set for Chikara Chatting. A 1-0 lead now in this game number 2. Looking to make it a sweep. Orbit's going to have to put something together here real fast, as that's a missile propulsion picked up there for Liari.
And Lumos actually denying Drew the ponder that he wants, so that's a Drew opts to take the rapid fire instead. Not looking to gamble on Dancer showing up. Spencer getting Castellass could be big. Those banishes, when played properly, especially with Castellass, right, can keep someone out of the game for so long and even set up some kills. So if Spencer can banish Appa at the goal line and find those KOs, it might make a huge difference in this match.
Absolutely here. Want to have that extra KO power for the rune wherever you can get it. See if that's what ends up making the difference. It's a ton of damage finds its way onto Applebug to start things off here. Another hook landed by Hook Resets, but not going to be enough to finish on off the KO, and Applebug already back up, feeling a little bit more healthy. Liari takes a bunch of damage next, but that's the core finding its way on to that goal barrier, and a KO found for Applebug on the other side. That's an empty goal. Somebody gonna have to get back here and defend, but nobody can do it in time. Applebug with another goal.
Yeah, and that's just a little rough. Spencer unfortunately caught unawares in that corner kill zone. As that barrier goes down, it does become a death spot. Also, something to note here, this is sort of like that last game with Sundubu Strikers versus Winterfall, right? The comp difference of the Juliet Rasmus versus the Estelle and some other character. I think the Estelle is just such a strong midfield pick on this map. She's so good at taking those barriers. But as I say it, great play with the jet stream there against that expanse, and Lumos is just going to find the goal.
I love the water cannon. I got it. I can't say enough. I love the water cannon. It's so much fun. Is there a chance we can put it on every map, whatever the copy pasta says that everybody's spamming right now? It's a hilarious piece of technology right there. Love to see it coming on through, and that does end up with a goal going on over towards Orbits. Liari now going to be incredibly low in their own right. Applebug going in for the dash punch, can't find it, and the res comes on through, but it's going to result again. That's hilarious that it ends up just going right there, and Hook Resets with another goal. We're having a nice little time here on Inky Splash.
Good awareness from Spencer, realizing that Resurrect was placed in a bit of an unfortunate position, unfortunately baiting Liari into dying against that water cannon. You know, not something you usually expect, but now I think Drew is going to be looking out for where he places those. Appa Bug already on life support, but forced to play in the back half of the map. Not really in the play right now. It's just up to Liari and Drew to hold it down against Lumos. Hook resets, but as I say it, Appa Bug immediately turns the tables, finds the kill on hook resets, and now looking for a bit of a power play opportunity. Gonna find that barrier off the corner. It's just so wide, so hard to cover all that space. And now the jet stream is there. Appa gets a pass, dribbles up the top corner, and the Julie classic. I mean, that is like the quintessential Julie scoring method, right? Pass it off the corner to yourself and punch it in.
Yeah, good stuff there. Little assist coming through from Liari as well, and they are both able to just find their way onto that goal. Now 2-2 here in set number 2. Could be a tie up, could be a 2-0 lead for Chikara based on how this ends up going. A nice banish, finds its way into Appa Bug. There's the combo. Tons of damage comes on through. The res was ready there from Evil Drew Danger if it became necessary, but it does not. Nice dodge away from the death touch there as well. Appa Bug doing a lot to stay alive, but staying alive not going to be enough to end up winning you this set as Spencer's clearing it back on down. Lumos looking to receive. Hook resets has it now on the top side. The clear back on out from Liari. They do manage to open on up the goal with help from Appa Bug. Here comes the cannon. Appa Bug finds a KO on the goalie, but they are going to get taken out. But Drew Danger sees the angle across the map, rockets it to the top corner, and finds themselves a goal.
I mean, chatting, just showing us why they are the hottest up-and-comers on the block. This team, mostly of fresh faces, just dominating in this series. And now Drew getting quite a few options. Glass Cannon, Twin Drive, and Timeless. Surprised he didn't go for the Twin Drive, but that extra size kind of necessary to cover this barrier, so it does make sense. Hook resets, getting that quick strikes though, and I personally think quick strikes is a big momentum swing, but it depends on how you use it, right? Gives you so much more offensive pressure in those strike wars with the goalie, gives you those dribbling options, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to swing it, especially now that Liari actually has the Twin Drive. Now it makes sense why Timeless is being picked. Estelle with those double blinks is going to be a huge problem.
Definitely is going to be a issue here. Hook coming on through, not going to end up on its target, and Drew Danger now with that Timeless Creator going to have a lot more structures in the way of these potential goals. We'll see if that ends up making the big differences. A nice little angle from Hook resets, nearly finds the goal on the top corner, but Evil Drew Danger able to keep up that defense. So here comes that blast, going to stop anything from crossing over midfield for a little while. Liari now back down to Appa Bug, punch off the bottom. Here's the cannon, back up to Liari, knocked on through, Hook resets, clears it out. Lumos now on the top side, core flip from Evil Drew Danger, stuffed by Lumos, and the first goal of set number 3 goes to the side of Orbits.
Incredible strike word there from Lumos, reminding us that he is still one of the best scorers this game has ever seen. Puts it right through Evil Drew Danger, and now Orbits finally taking the lead in a set. And Hook resets, living up to the name, hooks it out of the corner, looks for some offensive pressure there, trying to give Lumos any opportunities he can. Can't quite seem to find it, and instead it's going to be Appa Bug taking that early barrier. A lot of twists and turns going on right now on this offense, but as I say it, Liari just hits it right through Spencer and scores. It's 1-1 in this, what could be the final set, especially with the way chatting is playing right now.
I love the water cannon. Can we get it on every map, etc., etc.? It finds itself another KO there, and Chikara chatting again find themselves tied up 1-1, having a dominant showing in this series so far, looking great up against Orbits. Can they keep it up? That's going to be a little bit of a wrench thrown into that plan now as Hook resets, finds themselves a very nice goal in that top corner, sneaks it right past Evil Drew Danger.
Yeah, good strike placement there, and I think actually quick strike's coming into play a little bit, as I was saying, and it's been showing up in the offense as well, but this is the first time it's been rewarded so heavily. Now Appa Bug forced to use the flip to avoid dying to Lumos. Great awareness there, seeing that Lumos was looking for that dash punch, especially with the 1-2 that he has gotten. You are definitely in kill range. Now Lumos takes some damage of his own, does find the KO on Appa Bug though, does reset that dash punch, and now I guess that Ponder came into play as well. Now looking to core flip on his own. The jet stream though, too strong. Liari almost scores. The great defense from Spencer there, manages to find the save. Now they just need to stall out this death timer for Lumos as he was standing in the middle of that jet stream. Once again, I love the water cannon. Am I right?
So much so much as they do manage to find themselves another KO picked up, but now we're back in 3-3, and in the bottom side, almost snuck through by Liari. A great save by Spencer, but you can't do that more than once, and Appabug gonna push it through for another goal.
I just realized, by the way, I did not notice this when this happened, but Appa took Super Surge. I looked at that dash, I was very confused why that went so far, but he is Tokyo drifting these dash punches to hit it through Spencer, and that was an incredible use of, a bit of a niche awakening pick for Juliet players. Bell seems to hate it. But now, as I'm talking, Lumos in hook resets managed to find this barrier on Evil Drew Danger. Hook resets using that quick slice to dribble, trying to find options to give the core to Lumos. Lumos finally hit away by Liari and Appa, but they are going to find the KO. And now, power play opportunity from Orbits. They might be able to take this set and, even out this game a little bit. Drew forced to find the flip. And now just looking to get an opportunity to hook resets with a flip of his own. But Appa perfectly cutting off the pass there. No options there. And they managed to stall out Liari's death timer. Still, though, the pressure is on for the side of chatting. The job is not finished. And as I say, a hook resets and Lumos punching it right through Evil Drew Danger. Great coordination there. Flip into the punch. And Orbits brings this game back a set.
All right. Not over yet here. Orbits fighting their way back now. They are looking to see if they can pull off a massive reverse sweep and potentially even take us to a game number 3. First selection going to end up coming on through here for old Lumos. They are hovering on to this Catalyst, and they are going to end up taking it. Now, looking to see what else we can secure here.
Interesting pick from Liari there, taking the hot shot over the aerials despite having the twin drive. Those massive blinks might have been a huge asset, but I think she wants to stop Spencer from having any real options at all. Perfect form, kind of rough on Rune, who does not have a lot of multi-hits, who is not stacking that CDR, right? And I think that was a pretty smart play, just making sure Spencer isn't allowed to scale. He already has Prime Time and Castellast. Those are big options for Rune, but she just wants to make sure he stays a little more weak.
Yeah, for sure. There's the button. It's pushed. It gets over to Appabug. Liari nearly finding it, but not able to push it through. Actually, great defense being shown here by Orbits as they manage to save themselves up against that really rough situation.
Great clear.
The drift comes on through here, but another good clear from Spencer. As you say, getting a lot done and able to keep them on the aggressive. A nice ricochet there from hook resets off of those unstable anomalies, just trying to find themselves the space. Flip from Orbital Drew Danger, going to get thrown on down into the water blast, but doesn't actually get carried over to Appabug. Appa trying to defend, but knocked away by the unstable anomalies once again. Liari with control, loses it though, and there's the opening found by Evil Drew Danger. Here comes that blast. Again, up to Liari. Lumos keeping on the pressure. There's the core flip. There's the goal from Lumos.
That was very good by Orbits, and an interesting adaptation here made by Spencer. It's called the Unstable Anomaly, but with that jet stream, it seems to be a bit of a stabilizing factor on defense. Just throw it down in the middle, and the core is not getting through, especially with that cast last extra creation duration. Smart observation from Spencer to make this adjustment. We're going to see if it can continue to be of value. I mean, the jet stream has been setting up Appa so much with these shots, right? But if you can keep blocking out the core, I mean, he throws it down there just in case the core gets in there. It might be able to buy him a lot more time on the defense. Now, Lumos with a Flame Flurry gets the barrier, hits it through Drew, puts the pillar down from Spencer. But unfortunately, unfortunately, scoring off his own pillar there with the flip. And it's now a 1-1 in this set 4.
Yeah, rough look there for Spencer. Stuffs himself a little bit off the back of that one, but timing is tough. Nice shot by Liari, though. Leads it around the entire map and does manage to open on up that goal. Now Drew Danger passing it back up to Liari. Appabug in position to look to make it 1 strike, 1 goal, as they did in game number 1. Knocked back up by Liari. Evil Drew Danger not able to get into position. Appabug passing it back on up, dribbling, looking for the shot, gets it. 1 more big punch.
There, Appa just so patient, waited out all of Spencer's pillars and resources, and knew that Juliet is always going to win that 1v1 at the line there. I mean, not much Rune can do about getting punched in the face, and he's just going to find that goal. Now, Lumos looking to play some offense of his own, almost kills Liari off the side, can't quite find it, has a flip of his own, but now it's dangerous for Orbits once again. Liari misses the flip, but even then the jet stream is going to set up Appa. Great flip from Lumos, stalling out the jet stream, making sure Appa doesn't get another shot. Actually, Appa's barely touched the core of this map. He's level 6. They've been doing an incredibly good job of cutting off that coordination on the side of chatting. And it's been paying off a little bit. This game's a lot closer than the last one, and a great kill there. But now Appa scoring opportunity in his own. Killer there from Spencer, though. Great patience. And they're going to manage, it looks like they're going to manage to stall it out, but I'm wrong, as Liari finds an incredible angle, just sneaking it right by the pillar and closes out the series.
Huge there for Chikara chatting. They take a 2-0 win on their first match win of the series and of the North American Strikers League in general. Congratulations to Chikara chatting there. A big win over Orbits.
Absolutely, and I guess happy birthday to Appa, winning the series on the day of your birthday. Pretty good deal. This time, Appa's scoring efficiency a little less, but still pretty insane. I'm just looking, 19 shots, 47 redirects, and somehow still with 5 goals. What is this man cooking? Just a great series from Chikara chatting overall, though, and Spencer, despite being a sub, still showing up a lot, especially on the offensive plays.
Definitely really good stuff coming through from, we saw a lot for both sides here. And Spencer coming in as the substitute. Lumos able to get a lot of aggressive looks as well. Some great shots, some great KOs found for themselves. But, the team play of these rookies, so much to be said for what Liari, Apabug, and Evil Drew Danger have been able to put together. Even Evil Drew Danger, he had some really great shots across the map there. Thinking about that one core flip where he was able to find the angle at the empty goal. Huge play there, and Apabug just being such a big source of pressure, always in the face of Spencer.
Absolutely, and I mean, I think that was one of the deciding factors, right? When you have a pick like Juliet and the way Appa plays Juliet, right? Not having that anti-stuff at the line was seeming to cost them a bit on defense. There's just not much Spencer could do. Appa was just punching and kicking him all over the place. And even when Spencer was able to leave the goal box on offense, there's just not too many opportunities for him to do that.
Yeah. And really does feel that way when these two teams have, really going to look like a more dominant showing from the side of Chikara chatting, of course. And they're the team that we really gave a lot of hype towards coming on into the match. So gotta, give them respect for what we knew they were able to show and what they did end up showing, but especially for coming on in with a substitute here. You really do have to give some of that credit on over to both what Spencer was able to do coming in as a substitute goalie, showing up on the rune, had some really great angles there with what he was able to do. You called on out those unstable anomalies to try to counter on out what the water cannon was able to do. It's a good idea, maybe needs to be refined a little bit further, but definitely showing some good sparks there. And Lumos and Hook Resets still growing over the course of this split. Hook Resets especially coming into his first split of the NASL. Going to take some time to get adapted, but are going to drop to 0-2 here in the NASL.
Absolutely. Something that's been a bit of a theme today, actually, I think, is that Estelle pick on the Inky Splashdown. It's just so strong. Right, Crystal Thorns covers so much of that barrier space, can take it from like any corner. We saw it with the Sundubu Strikers match when it was Gramella and 3Z, and then we saw it today just now with Liari and Appa. Also, Gordo smiling a bit because Borg has just joined the video call that we are all in. Hello, Borg. But a bit of a jump scare from, I don't know where he is right now.
It is great that Borg has joined. I'm actually smiling because Chad is making fun of me for calling them rookies, which is also
that's fair.
That's life. That's the North American Strikers League. A little bit of a different game than the weekly tournaments. At least I'm going to continue to maintain that because it helps with my narratives. So
hey, this is our job as casters. Okay, cut us some slack. We are allowed to lie for the narrative.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for myself and Fembison lying to you guys today, as we are going to be moving on up to our next duo of casters as we move on to our second block of games for the day. But it's been a great time, Fembison. Thank you so much for joining me for these two matches. And let's send it over to the next group. Send it over to the analyst desk for a little bit of time while we wait to get into our next round.